Most lazy, ambitious people aren't lazy at all. They're blocked, mentally, emotionally, or neurologically. You know something that doesn't make sense? Some people have huge dreams. They think big. They want more from life. But they can't get themselves to do the work. And everyone, including them, just calls it laziness. But here's what I've noticed. Truly lazy people don't sit around feeling frustrated with themselves. They don't feel guilty for wasting time. They don't constantly think about what they could be doing. So if you're ambitious but still feel stuck, there's a good chance you're not lazy at all. You're blocked. And in this video, I want to explain what that block actually is. Because once you understand it, a lot of things about you start to make sense. Big dreams need a lot of energy. Ambitious people think about big futures all the time. They imagine what they could become and what kind of life they want. That part feels good. But imagining and actually doing are two different things. Dreaming mainly uses dopamine. Doing the work needs steady dopamine and discipline over time. When the brain struggles to manage dopamine, this is what happens. You want many things. You make plans. But when it's time to start, your body feels tired and heavy. Your mind is active, but your body doesn't cooperate. This is not laziness. It is a motivation system problem. Your brain and your energy are not working together properly. Fear often looks like laziness. Many ambitious people are afraid, even if they don't realize it. They are afraid of failing. They are afraid of being judged. Some are even afraid of succeeding because success changes how people see them. There is also fear of losing the identity of potential. As long as you haven't tried, you can still believe you could be great. So the brain tries to protect you by delaying action. Not trying feels safer than trying and failing. From the outside, this looks like laziness, but the real cause is fear and self-protection. Some of the most ambitious people you'll ever meet look lazy. They have big dreams, big goals, big potential, but somehow nothing moves. And everyone keeps telling them the same thing. You're just lazy. You're not disciplined enough. You don't want it badly enough. But what if that's completely wrong? What if most lazy, ambitious people aren't lazy at all? What if they're blocked, mentally, emotionally, or even neurologically? Because here's the truth no one talks about. If you were truly lazy, you wouldn't feel guilty. You wouldn't hate yourself for wasting time. You wouldn't lie awake thinking about the life you should be living. So in this video, I'm going to explain what's actually happening inside the brain of ambitious people who can't take action, and why understanding this might completely change how you see yourself. Some people feel tired even before they start doing anything. This happens because their mind is always busy. They overthink everything. They replay conversations. They imagine different futures and worst-case scenarios. They argue with themselves in their head all day. So even when they look like they are doing nothing, their brain is already exhausted. Because of that, the body has very little energy left. This leads to low motivation, procrastination, and feeling physically drained. Then guilt starts. You feel bad for not doing enough. That guilt creates more mental stress, and that stress makes you even more tired. It becomes a cycle that is very hard to break. Most people have big dreams, but they were never taught how to turn those dreams into daily actions. In school, we are told what success looks like. Study hard, get good results, do something big with your life. But no one teaches us the middle part. No one teaches us how to take a big goal and break it into very small steps. No one teaches us how to build habits that don't depend on motivation. And no one teaches us what to do on days when we feel tired, distracted, or unmotivated. So people know what they want, but they don't know how to move toward it. Their ambition stays in their head instead of showing up in their routine. But action needs structure. It needs a simple system you can follow without thinking too much. Without a system, you have to rely on motivation every day. And motivation is unreliable. That's why even very ambitious people get stuck, not because they don't want it, but because they don't have a clear way to work toward it. So if you see yourself in this, the problem isn't that you're lazy. It's that you've been trying to use motivation and discipline before you have energy and structure. What actually helps here is learning how to start when motivation is low, how to build energy first instead of forcing discipline, and how to take very small actions that don't feel heavy or painful. When you work with your brain instead of fighting it, action becomes easier and more consistent. First, stop waiting to feel motivated. Motivation usually comes after you start, not before. Most people wait until they feel ready, energetic, or confident. But when you are already tired or mentally blocked, that feeling never comes. So instead of asking, "Do I feel like doing this?" ask, "What is the smallest version of this I can do right now?" Not the perfect version, not the full task, just the smallest action that feels manageable. Open the document, write one sentence, put on your shoes, work for 5 minutes. Small actions lower resistance. Once resistance drops, energy slowly comes back. That's how action actually begins for ambitious people who feel stuck. The second thing is to build energy before expecting discipline. Most people try to force discipline when they are already exhausted. That rarely works. Discipline needs energy. If your body and mind are drained, self-control is low. So instead of pushing harder, focus on basic energy first. Sleep enough. Eat regularly. Move your body a little, even a short walk. Reduce constant screen time and overthinking when you can. These things sound simple, but they directly affect how much energy your brain has to work with. When energy improves, discipline becomes much easier. You don't have to fight yourself as much. You're not becoming a different person. You're just giving your brain the fuel it needs. The third thing is to stop relying on willpower and start using systems. Willpower changes every day. Some days you have it, some days you don't. So instead of asking yourself to work hard, create very small rules you can follow even on bad days. For example, instead of "I will study for 2 hours," say, "I will study for 5 minutes." Instead of "I will go to the gym," say, "I will just show up." These systems remove the pressure to perform. They focus on showing up, not being perfect. When showing up becomes easy, progress happens naturally. If you are ambitious but feel stuck, you are not lazy. You are probably tired, blocked, or trying to work in a way that doesn't fit you. Once you stop fighting yourself and start working with your brain, action becomes simpler and consistency becomes possible. And that's when ambition finally turns into real progress.